Yes, talking fingers. Take a good look at my face and see if you remember anything about me and remember what the program is all about. They say students never forget their teacher. So I imagine though many years has gone by and I've put on some weight, there'll still be some semblance on my face that will make you remember me and remember the program. So do you? You do. Of course you do. You're a good student. Yes, Talking Fingers is back, so go tell other students that the program is back on air. But for the benefit of those who are watching for the first time, because I imagine some are watching for the first time, some were born after the program went off air, some were very young when the program was on. So for the benefit of these ones, I'm going to introduce the program properly. The program is Talking Fingers. It is the only program that teaches your fingers how to talk. Many years ago, precisely 14 years ago on this same channel, I taught Nigerians how to talk with their fingers. The language that is taught on this program is known as sign language. Sign language is fast becoming a popular language. Presently, it is the fourth most used language in the United States. A lot of people are learning sign language for various purposes. Some are learning sign language because they are aging, and so their vocal cavity is failing. They need to acquire another means of communication so that they will not be incommunicado. Then we have those who are learning sign language as an added knowledge. They say no knowledge is a waste. So they're learning sign language to add to the other languages they know. Then, of course, you have those who are learning sign language because they live or trade in a noisy environment. For example, if you live or trade in Lagos Island Market, you find out that you will need sign language. Otherwise, you will have to scream and shout every time you need to pass an information across, even a line of word. And so people are learning it, to ease the tension of screaming to pass information across. I'm sure you've seen those who, instead of saying hello and screaming, they just do this. Of course, they're signing. And there are those who, instead of saying come, they just do this. That saves the stress of stressing your mind, your voice. And then we have those who are learning sign language for the fun of it. Change the say a spice to life. So if you've been talking for a whole day, you find out that it's a good blend if you interject some signs into it. By the way, my husband and I, when we were receiving marriage counseling, was told to learn some sign, because sometimes the home will be so tensed that the mere word I love you might not work. He will need to sign it. And let me tell you, he's been working on me. Many times when he signed I love you, he puts a smile on my face. So couple, you might need it. And then finally, there are those who are learning sign language. These ones fall into my group because of its uniqueness. I like unique things, things that are not ordinary. I know that every language on this planet is done via the vocal cavity. This is the only language that is done with the flipping of hands and some facial expression. I couldn't imagine that with the flipping of hands and some change in facial expression that I could actually communicate the intent, the actual intention and views I have. And that was what moved me into learning sign language. Well, whatever your reason for learning sign language is, I just want to welcome you and tell you that it's a thrilling language, it's an interesting language. However, there is still one more reason why I will implore everyone to learn sign language. There's a group known as the deaf. These ones cannot hear sound and they can't express sound. Some of them were born that way, known as congenitally deaf. Some acquired it in life, either through accident or illness, known as adventurously deaf. Whatever class these ones are, truth is they can't hear sound and they can't express sound. The pain they go through is better imagined. The pain of not being able to air your views, your ideas, and not being able to be communicated to is better imagined. Some of these deaf, not all of them, have gone to school to acquire education like some of us, and they've also learned how to communicate with their hands. However, when they come back, they are still challenged because their parents don't understand sign, their siblings don't understand sign, and the larger public don't understand sign language. So in quotes, they live in their own world. However, if we learn sign language, we'll be able to close the existing gap between the hearing and the deaf. And by so doing, we'll contribute our quota in building our nation. That's why I'm here, to teach you sign language with ease and make it very interesting. Some call me Lady of Smiles. Some call me the Talking Fingers Lady. Whatever you call me is beautiful. My name is Patience Ilozwe. You're welcome to Talking Fingers. Go get a pen, get a notebook, because you'll need to note down some of the things you're learning here. You need to attend class regularly. and then you will need to answer questions. So go get a notebook and a pen. We'll go for a short break. When we come back, we'll start with the science for today after the break. Hello, you're welcome back. Okay, you've just learned how how sign language started. Now we're going to learn signs. And I want to encourage all the couples to draw their seats because they will need this particular sign which we're going to learn from today. We're going to start by learning how to sign I love you. Of course, the world is founded on love, so we need to learn how to sign I love you. If you meet any deaf, you can just say it to yourselves. I love you. This is how to sign I. I, can you see the hand, the thumb, and the little finger up, placed on your chest? That is I. Well, some close the whole hand, leaving only the little finger. They bring it on the chest, and it also still means I. So whichever one you choose is good. Either you sign it this way, I, or you sign it this way, pointing to yourself. Did you get it? Again, you close all your fingers. You have the little finger extended upwards. You have the thumb extended upwards. And you place it on your chest. That is I. And then guess what love is? It's so affectionate. You put your two hands across yourself and draw it to yourself. That's love. 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 And of course, you is so simple. You just point to the person you're talking to. So let's quickly sign I love you all over again. I have I this way. And then love you. Can you sign that? I love you. Okay, that's how to sign that. I'm watching to see if you did it well. Do you have any difficulty? Okay, let's move on to the next one. We have, how are you? Of course, that's the daily sentence we make every day. How are you? And how is simply done this way. Your hands face down, and then you flip it open. One more time, is this way. It's covered, it's face down. And then you draw it inside of you, and then flip it out. How? How? R is your two fingers, the index finger and the middle finger crossed together. You place it on your lips and gently push it out. That's R, A-R-A. R. Let's take it again. How are you? How are you? Remember the sign for you? Just point forward. And that's how to sign how are you. We'll take that one more time. How are you? Interesting, isn't it? Okay, we'll move on. I hope you haven't forgotten the first one. The next one is Well, naturally, when we are asked, how are you? Our answer is fine, thank you. Whether we're fine or not, that's usually our answer, fine, thank you. And so we're going to learn how to reply, fine, thank you. Your thumb, this, on your chest, on your mid-chest, and then you flip it. That's fine. Some sign fine this way. Stroking it out. That's another way of signing fine, so you make your choice. Either this way and you flip it. Of course, when you're saying fine thank you, the facial expression should be with smiles. You can't be saying fine thank you and you're frowning. It doesn't make sense, does it? So you need to smile while saying fine thank you. Thank you. Have you seen musicians on stage? After singing, people are applauding them. You see them do this. Have you? I've seen a lot of them. What they're simply saying is thank you, thank you, thank you to their audience. Okay, so that's how to sign fine thank you. We'll take that one more time. Fine thank you. Oh, I like sign language. I like it. The flipping of hands. You can do it stylishly and make it very interesting, just like you speak English. Okay, so quickly I'll run down the 3 sentences we've learned and see if we can still take 1 or 2 more. Let's go back to the first one. I love you. So henceforth you want to say I love you to Oga or Madam at home or to your kids. Why not do it in sign language? Say that with your fingers. It's done this way. I love. Push it to yourself and smile. Love you. One more time. I love you. Can you do that? Sign I. Love you. You know, in time past, people would ask, are you sure you see the students? And I say, don't worry, I see my students. I know all of them. And I see them, so I can tell you got it right. A round of applause for you. So this is how to sign I love you. And the second sign we learned is how are you? How are you? How is done this way. You flip open. How are you? One more time. How. Again. How. You can see the passion with which I sign it. How are you? And then we'll learn how to reply fine thank you. Fine thank you. Your thumb on your chest and then you flip. Fine. Or you just simply sign this. Fine thank you. Thank you. Okay, quickly we'll have 2 more signs. Let's quickly take that. What is your name? Usually when you meet someone, that's about the first question you ask, what's your name? And then it tells you what his name is. Okay, what is your name? And the answer is my name is. So let's quickly learn how to sign what is your name. You have your left hand. You stroke it this way. That's what. With a facial expression that shows you're asking a question. What? What is the little hand? Remember, when the little hand is placed on your chest, it is I. When it's placed on your lips and moved out a little bit, it is. Okay? So, what is your you just push your whole hands forward. Your name. Your index finger and your middle finger of your right hand, the index finger and the middle finger of your left hand, that of the right hand comes on the left one and taps it a couple of times. That's name. Name. Now I'm going to sign it with a facial expression that suggests I'm asking a question. What is your name? Sometimes if you need to drive home the fact that you're asking a question, you might need to add the question mark. The question tag is drawn on A. So, what is your name? Are you able to do that? Okay, and lastly, my name is, This is how to sign my. Your whole hands on your chest. That's my. My. You remember name, your index finger and your middle finger on the index finger and the middle finger of the left one. You tap it many times. Name. My name is. When we learn our alphabet, then you will know how to finger spell your name, because some names don't have signs. Some names don't have signs, so you need to learn the letters. Okay, however, I just wanted you to learn some interesting signs you will use for today and tomorrow before we start with the basics. So how was it? Any difficulty? Anyone? Okay, some of my students like Gina. Gina was a class captain years back. I've not seen her for the past 14 years, but I spoke with her and she's doing quite well. She was our class captain, and I'm sure she's watching. Gina, if you're watching, I missed you, and many other students who are watching. If you have any difficulty with the signs that we have learned today, I'll, in the course of the program, tell you what number to direct your questions to, or the email address to direct your questions to. Is that okay? So quickly, I'll run through the 5 signs. We'll take a short break, and when we come back, I'll give you the homeworks for today. Are we ready? The first one, I love you. I love, with a passionate face, love you. Try it and see how your spouse will smile. It works for me. And then the next one is, how are you? How are you? Do we take that again? How are you? And our usual reply in Nigeria here is, fine, thank you. Fine, thank you. So let's quickly remind ourselves how to sign that again. Fine. Remember, it could either be this way or out. Fine, thank you. You hold hands on your mouth and you gently push it out. That's thank you. Thank you. So you might start from today. Instead of screaming and shouting thank you to someone, just do this. Just do this, and they will understand it as thank you, not only to the deaf, but even to the hearing. I've given you many reasons why people are learning sign language, so you can communicate with someone who is also hearing. Okay? And then we'll learn, what is your name? What is your name? What is signed this way with a facial expression that shows you're asking a question. What? What? Of course I can't sign what. What? Does it make sense? It doesn't. So your facial expression really counts. What is your name? What is your name? And then lastly, my name is. My name is. One more time. My name is. Isn't that interesting? Well, I want to see you next time signing all of this. We'll quickly take a short break. When we come back, I'll give you the homework for today. You're welcome back. Now it's time to test your understanding of all that has been taught. If you have any problems anyway, you will need to send a text message to 0802. Are you noting that? 0802 56 37 254. That line is only for text message. 0802 56 37 254. If you have any difficulty with all the signs that is taught today, send your text there, and then you can also reach me on my email address, talkingfingerstv@gmail.com. Talkingfingers, not finger, talkingfingerstv@gmail.com. You can reach me via this avenue. Now let's find out if all the things that are taught today is well understood. I'm going to sign. You will watch and then write down what I have signed. After the program, you'll send your answers across to me. I'll tell you the reward of those who do very well later. Now let's quickly start. What is the meaning of we'll take that again. Of course, it's a question with my facial expression. Okay, quickly write the meaning of that. The second question is, one more time. Is that clear enough? And then third question, I'll take that again. Have you written it? And then we have a very simple one. Be careful. And finally, our final question is, okay, write out the answers to these questions and send it to 0802-56-37254 or to my email address talkingfingerstv@gmail.com. From next episode, we'll start entertaining calls, so you can call me and ask me questions that are difficult for you, and then we can communicate. I'd like to hear the voice of my old students and also that of my new students. Okay, so the next time we'll come on show, which by the way is on Wednesday by 5 p.m. On Wednesday by 5 p.m. I will come back here to teach you, which means you must submit your answers before that day. If you answer correctly, students who answer correctly over a period of time will win a sign language book from me. There are several books on the shelf. I don't know if camera can zoom in to capture those books. There are books on the shelf. If you get at least 80% of your answers correctly over a period of time, you will win one of those books and you'll be showcased on the program. Of course, you will have some responsibilities too, to organize the students, advise me when necessary. That was Gina's job 14 years ago, and she needs to hand over to someone. So answer questions correctly. Remember, my students are as many as possible. They are grown-ups, they are children. Anyone who can talk should learn the language to help close the existing gap between the hearing and the deaf. I enjoyed teaching you. Did you enjoy learning? If you did, then join me on Wednesday by 5 p.m. when we'll go through some other signs and see how far you did in today's sign. Until Wednesday, when I'll come your way again to teach you more signs, keep talking with your fingers. Bye-bye.